So in this video, I want to talk about Bona Mega's product here, and I've got Alec here, which I'm going to ask some questions. We have Bona Mega, which is of course, it's been around for near on 20 years, and then we have now Bona Mega Evo. What is the main difference between the two, and how did Mega Evo come about?
Okay, well, Bona Mega was a really important product for us because prior to the development of this, especially in the UK, solvent-based products dominated the market. They were always considered to be the best in terms of performance, you know, and especially in commercial environments, you would always use a solvent-based varnish. That's going to give you the best result. So when we launched Mega, we managed to get it specified in the Portrait Gallery in London and some other high-profile situations, and the product performed brilliantly. And of course this then turned the heads of some architects and specifiers, and then it gave them the confidence to specify the product for other such environments. So that gave us a fantastic start, because now we've got this water-based product, an alternative to solvent-based products, so it's much cleaner. There's no smell, there's no residual odour or solvent for people to breathe in. So it ticks all those boxes, and it launched Bona in the UK essentially because of the success of this.
So it's a 1K product, but it's for domestic and light commercial, is that right?
When we first launched Mega, it was positioned for high commercial, so okay, for commercial use. And in terms of the technology here, it's quite interesting, because although the product has reached a point now where it's quite old in terms of its age since development, it's got really innovative technology. So it's based on rapeseed oil, so vegetable oil, which obviously grows, and as it grows, these plants, it's using up carbon dioxide, so we can make an environmental green argument about this. And we turn that vegetable oil into polyurethane, and with a low solvent, water-based product. So it was positioned for commercial use and performed very well. So used within the homes, shops, businesses alike. So no problem. Until people started using the products on different types of surfaces, people became more interested in decorative effects. And of course these days we've got primers like the Bona White, which give a much paler impression to timbers that are already light in colour. So one of the inevitable properties of being based on vegetable oil is it imparts a very subtle level of coloration, so this sort of yellow, almost honey-like tone to the product.
Once it's finished.
Once it's finished, but also it has some reactivity with UV light as well. So depending on the lighting regime in any given property, you can get different levels of yellowing. So at the time when the product was launched, and we still continue to sell this in large quantities, so this isn't a major problem, but if we're using pigmentation to lighten the colour further, then this yellow coloration is going to be much more noticeable. So one of the attractive aspects of the Mega Evo is the fact that it's based on a slightly different formulation, and it doesn't have this yellowing characteristic. So it's completely clear and non-yellowing and doesn't react with UV light. But an important aspect to follow that statement with is that it doesn't stop the timber from reacting with UV light. The product itself doesn't change colour, but the timber will always react with light, and this is something that's very difficult to mitigate.
So when you say that, you mean UV damage coming through windows, that's not going to avoid that yellowing underneath the timber?
Yeah, in fact I wouldn't use the term damage. It's an inevitable reaction that timber undergoes when exposed to light. That's just a normal part of its nature. Yeah.
And so if we're using a pigmented primer, we can still get a bit of a darkening tinge if we're using the Mega. So the Mega Evo has that great clear look, which makes it great for Bona Natural, Bona White, and also over classic UX as well.
Exactly. So yeah, consider a product which has got this subtle honey-like tone onto a whitened background. You're going to notice that tone much more than if it was just on the bare wood. So yeah, but with Mega Evo we can go onto whitened surfaces, very pale timber species like maple, where we don't want to introduce any further colour without yellowing the surface.